Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm bringing you guys a Zoya haul, swatch, and review of the Sunsets and Seashells collection. There's 6 polishes in each collection. The Seashells collection contains 6 creams that are all said to be 1 coaters. And the Seashells collection are 6 pixie dusts. If you're not familiar with Zoya's pixie dust, it is a textured formula. I'm going to start off with the Sunsets collection. Now these polishes are all said to be 1 coaters. You guys will see from my swatches that they aren't, in my opinion, necessarily 1 coaters because I tend to do a little bit of a thinner coat. However, if you did use a thicker coat with any of these polishes, I'm sure you can get it really close to a 1 coater, if not a true 1 coater. However, I did do 2 coats for all of these polishes, and I did notice that with the second coat, it did help even out the polish just slightly, and it also helped deepen the color just a little bit, but it was so barely noticeable that I would say that most of these polishes are pretty much 1 coaters. If you're very picky with your polishes like I am, I'd say do 2, but for the most part you can get away with 1 coat with these polishes. Now I did pull 6 polishes from my collection just to try and give you guys a comparison. So let's start with the first polish. The first polish is in Dory, and this is, on camera it's showing up more of like a robin blue, but it's a little dustier than that. I will say this color does lean a little bit more towards a periwinkle blue. I'm not exactly sure how to describe this color, but on camera it is showing up a little bit more like a robin's blue. So I pulled robin from my collection, and like I said, on camera, they are showing up a little bit similar. I don't know if you can tell. This is Dory and this is Robin. Like I said, on camera, they are pretty much showing up like the same color, but in person, this is definitely a little bit more muted than Zoya's Robin. So if you're interested in getting this polish, I'd say go ahead and get it because they are 2 different colors. The formula on this polish was really smooth and even to apply. The next polish in the collection is called Ness, and this is kind of like a muted avocado green. That's how I would describe it. It's a very creamy looking green, and I do have the polish Tilda to compare, and this is more of a lime green. So as you guys can see, Ness is a little bit more of a muted color than Tilda is. In person, Tilda is a lot brighter of a green, so it's more of a limier green, and Ness is a little bit more muted of an avocado green. It also has a little bit more blue in it too. The formula on this polish was really smooth and easy to apply. I am going to sound like a broken record for most of the creams in this collection because all of them pretty much applied the same way. The next polish in the collection is Live, and this is a pinky purple that leans a little bit more purple. It is a little bit more intense than another polish I have in my collection, which is called Perry. I don't know if you guys can see, but this one right here is Perry, and this one is Live. Live is a little bit darker than Perry, so I'd say if you were looking just to purchase the unique polishes in this collection, this is one I would skip because if you have Perry, they're pretty much the same color. So if you already have Perry in your collection, I would just say skip Live. The next polish in the collection is called Brian, and this is essentially just a hot magenta pink. It is a very pretty color. This is exactly what I think of when I think of a summer pink. Again, the formula with this polish was really easy to apply, very smooth. It almost was a 1 coater. For my swatches, I did do 2 coats. I was a little worried with this polish and I thought it might stain, but I didn't have any staining issues with this polish at all. I do have another polish in my collection, and it's called Rooney. And it's a little bit more of a muted down pink. This is Rooney and this is Brian. So as you can see, Brian is a lot more of a hotter pink than Rooney. Rooney is a little bit more kind of like a bubblegum pink. It's a very pretty polish. I definitely would pick this up if you are into hot, bright pinks, especially for the summertime. The next polish in the collection is Dixie, and this is a corally pinky red. I did do a bottle shot between Brian and Dixie just to show you guys that Dixie is a little bit more corally than Brian. Brian is more of a true hot pink. And as you can see here on camera, this is Dixie and this is Brian. Brian is showing up a little bit darker and more purpley, but in person it's more of a hot pink. There is one polish that I already have in my collection, and it's called Kylie, and it's essentially the same color. Like Kylie leans maybe a little bit more coral than Dixie, but they're pretty much the same color when you put them on the nail. So if you already have Kylie in your collection, I would skip on Dixie. Again, the formula for Dixie was really smooth, easy to apply. This one was the one that tended to be a little bit more patchy and in my opinion would benefit from a second coat. But again, it depends on how you apply your polish, if you like to do thin or thick coats. But this one in my opinion was the one that was definitely not a one coater. And the last polish in the Sunsets collection is called Cam, and this is a bright neon orange. It's showing up a little bit more red on camera. I tried to adjust all the settings for the camera to show the true orange color, but this is pretty much your standard bright neon orange. It doesn't lean too much yellow, it doesn't lean too much red. It's right in the middle. I do already have Arizona in my collection, and Arizona is a little bit more toned down, creamier of an orange in comparison to Cam. So here you can see this is Cam and this is Arizona, and Arizona tends to lean a little bit more yellow. It's not as bright of an orange as Arizona. So if you don't have a bright orange in your collection, I would say get Cam. This is probably closer to Orly's Melt Your Popsicle. The formula was really nice on this one as well. Almost a one coater, very smooth, easy to apply. The one thing I will say about Cam is that you have to be careful with pooling with this one. It was a little runnier than the other formulas, so I wouldn't suggest trying to do a thicker coat with Cam. That just could be my bottle, but I did notice that it was a little bit thinner of a formula than the other polishes. So be careful when applying this polish. I didn't have any staining issues with this polish either, nor with Dixie. The pink, red, and oranges in this collection were really nice in that they didn't stain my nails, which typically reds, pinks, oranges, and blues tend to stain my nails more often than none. Now let's move on to the Seashells collection, which is probably my favorite collection of the summer. I really like textured polishes. I know textured polishes are kind of starting to get faded out. I was a little worried because I'd heard that Zoya was discontinuing their pixie dust line, and of all the textured polishes I've tried, the pixie dusts from Zoya are probably my favorite textured polishes. They stay on the nails for a really long time. I like to wear them on my hands. I like to wear them on my toes. They're really easy to apply. They're typically two coaters. I normally don't need a top coat with the pixie dusts. Most of these do dry down slightly matte. They kind of have like a satiny finish. If you do apply a top coat, it will take away some of that texture. If you do like to use top coats, I would suggest using a thin top coat or using a holographic or a shimmery top coat like China Glaze's Fairy Dust. That really makes the textured polish kind of pop. You don't want to use too thick of a top coat because it's going to take away the texture. So unless you really like the color of a specific polish, I wouldn't recommend using a thick top coat like Seche Vite, for instance. I would never use Seche Vite on a textured polish because it's so thick of a polish that it's pretty much going to take away most of that texture. So the first polish in the collection is Levi, and this is a champagne-y yellow gold with holographic glitter throughout the polish. And I do have two polishes already in my collection that are similar to this. The first one is Tomoko, and this is just a champagne-y yellow gold. Levi is a little bit more of a yellow gold than Tomoko, but Tomoko doesn't have that holographic glitter in there. And then the other one is Cosmo. This is a little bit less of a yellow gold, but it does have the holographic glitter. However, the holographic glitter in Cosmo is a lot chunkier than the one in Levi. I like this polish a little bit more than Cosmo because the holographic glitter kind of blends in with the polish and gives it that little something extra, more like a shimmer, versus Cosmo, it's really chunky and it tends to stand out. And again, Cosmo is not as champagne-y yellow gold as Levi. So this polish is really pretty. The color is very subtle, so you could get away with wearing this in a more professional setting. But it has that holographic glitter to give it a little bit something extra. So this is probably going to be one of my favorite nudes to wear. I don't typically like nudes. I tend to like brighter colors, but I really do like this polish. This took two coats to be fully opaque. I was a little worried that it was going to be sheer. Nudes typically tend to be a little bit more difficult to build up the opaqueness, but this covered perfectly in two coats. The next polish in the collection is called Tilly, and this is a very icy lavenderish silver. It does have very, very small holographic glitter in here that flashes purple. This did take 3 coats to be fully opaque. I originally had done 2, but then comparing my nails to the bottle, it didn't quite look as intense as it does in the bottle, so I decided to do 3 coats, and it looks so much better. Even with the 3rd coat, it didn't get thick, gloopy, or chunky. That's one of the reasons why I like the Pixie Dust formulas, is even though it's a textured polish, it's still really easy to work with and build up. From far away, it pretty much does look silver. It has that very, very, very slight hint of lavenderish purple in there. I'm going to really enjoy wearing this around Christmas time. This is a very unique polish. I haven't seen anything like this. I don't have anything like this in my collection, so I would recommend picking this up because of its uniqueness. However, just keep in mind that it is 3 coats, so if you're turned off by the fact that you have to put a little bit more work into this polish, then I'd skip it. Otherwise, definitely pick it up. So the next polish in my collection is called Linds, Linds. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this is a fiery red textured polish with a gold shimmer throughout the polish. There's also a pink shimmer running throughout the polish as well. The shimmer is a little difficult to pick up in pictures and during the swatches, but it is very apparent on the nail. I normally don't like plain reds, but I like the dimension that this polish has with that gold and hot pink shimmer running throughout it. And then on top of that, it's a textured polish, so it makes that shimmer stand out a lot brighter on the nail than you would with just a normal cream polish. I wouldn't really apply a top coat with this, especially because the shimmer is really apparent when it dries down already. However, I know 90 Lacquer has a shimmery gold top coat. I am actually thinking about just purchasing that top coat just to use with this polish, because I'm sure it would really bring out the shimmer in this polish. I really like the red and gold combo in here, and I'm definitely going to be using this around Christmas time. If I am going to wear a red polish, I typically do the red and gold combo, so I can see myself getting a lot of use out of this polish. I don't have anything quite like this in my collection, so if you are interested in this polish, I definitely say pick it up. The next polish in this collection is actually my favorite. I'm not sure if it's pronounced Zoe or Zoe. It's spelled like Zoe, but it has 2 O's in it. So for that reason, I'm going to say it's Zoe, but I could be wrong. I mispronounce things all the time. So this is a pinky coral. It leans a little bit more pink, and it has holographic glitters in there, but the glitters are a little bit bigger than in Levi, so they're a little bit more apparent, and it has a gold shimmer throughout the whole polish. It is so stinking beautiful. I really like this color. I really like the shimmer in here as well. It's that same gold shimmer from the previous polish. That gold holographic glitter just takes this to a whole nother level. This is such a beautiful polish. It took 2 coats to be fully opaque, and you get exactly what you have in the bottle. This is definitely a polish I'm going to get a lot of use out of in the summertime. I don't have anything even remotely close to this in my collection. So if you're going to pick up any polish out of either the Sunsets or the Seashells collection, I would definitely recommend this one. It's such a beautiful polish. The last 2 polishes in this collection had probably the worst formula out of the entire collection. These did take 3 coats to be fully opaque. They have a similar formula and similar finish. When I first got these collection, these were the 2 that I actually gravitated towards, and I thought these were going to be my favorite in the entire collection, but they ended up being my least favorite. So the first one is called Cece, and it's a gorgeous green. It has this green and gold shimmer running throughout the polish. I did 3 coats of this, and it was still not quite what you see in the bottle. This does remind me of Zoya's Apple. I haven't purchased that polish only because I've seen terrible reviews on it, and it's a very, very sheer polish, but this is pretty much Zoya's Apple in a pixie dust formula. I was a little disappointed in this polish. I could have put up with the 3 coats if this polish had holographic glitter in it. I think that would have definitely made this polish worth it, but I don't know. I would definitely stay away from this polish. If you like the color, I would say stay away from it because you never really get what's in the bottle. So that one was kind of a dud for me. So the last polish in the collection is called Bay. And this is very, very, very similar to CC, except it's in a blue base. However, the formula is a little bit better with this polish. So this one is worth it in my opinion because you do end up getting what's in the bottle. It's very pretty. It's a blue with a gold shimmer throughout it. It's kind of unique in my opinion because you normally don't see blue and gold. You see a lot of blue and silver, but not blue and gold. So sometimes that gold shimmer kind of looks a little bit green because it's in that blue base. But like I said, this is a little bit better of a formula than CC. You can get away with 2 coats with this polish. I would still suggest 3 if you want to get exactly what's in the bottle. It is a unique color combination with that blue and gold. So for that reason, I'd say this one is definitely worth it. But again, it's up to you whether you want to deal with a little bit more tricky of a formula. So that concludes my Zoya haul, swatch, and review. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy these types of videos. And please leave a comment down below if you guys have purchased either one of these collections or both. And also let me know what polishes you enjoyed, which polishes you didn't enjoy. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!